Welcome into Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper. And like I always post on YouTube on Sundays, we got our mailbag. Couple of days into training camp, and I have all of the questions for you. So, also using hashtag Patriots, and that's how you get into the mailbag. But first, we got it from Juco Maine with a $10 super chat that came in during our live show. Who was your sleeper candidate to make it out of training camp and make the 50-man roster? Juco Maine, I would probably say, at this point, can we really say that Efton Chism is a sleeper candidate to make the roster? Everybody, every single Patriots beat writer, every single NFL insider are all saying that he could make this 53-man roster and that Jalen Polk and Javon Baker are going to be cut candidates. We did our video of the 53-man roster projections, and Mike Reese, who covers them, said that he was going to make the team. He's just impressed throughout rookie minicamp, OTAs, minicamp, and now that we're into training camp, and if he shows out and shows that he could truly be a part of this roster or part of an NFL team, he's going to be on here. Another sleeper candidate that is another undrafted free agent is Lan Larison, and he's like Efton Chism, where the Patriots paid him a lot of money, and when I say a lot of money, I say compared to the money that actual draft picks get, but they get guaranteed about $250,000. So for him, it would be Lan Larison, kind of your old Danny Woodhead kind of running back that we could really see him make the team. We're really going to see it once preseason starts, and we're getting into kind of game film to see. We got Doxies, 9999. Who should start at slot receiver in your opinion? I would want to say that it's probably going to be Pop Douglas. I'm not going to say Kyle Williams should be the slot guy coming out of to start the season solely because he's a rookie. He hasn't proven anything. Pop Douglas was one of the leading wide receivers for this Pats team last year. He already has the chemistry with Drake Maye, and now going in when you have Josh McDaniels as your offensive coordinator calling the plays, as you know how much he loves those dink and dunk passes, the quick routes where it's three-step drop, you're going over to the slant, you're going over to the flat. There's design plays specifically for your slot guy, and I think that Pop is going to be your starting person to go into this season solely because he just fits that Josh McDaniels mold. Still looking for that first 1,000-yard wide receiver, though, since 2019. And that was Julian Edelman, also a slot receiver. We have our sub-battle going on against our own selves. In June 2025, we had 403 subscribers. And as we're recording this on July 23rd, Patriots Day, we're almost at 300, 297. We got to get those numbers up. We have just about 9 days away, maybe even less. No, that's a week away to beat this milestone. We're also on our way to 27,000 subs. So if you want Patriots coverage all throughout the offseason, every single day of training camp, go ahead and hit that sub button. New England faithful, you haven't talked about the kickers much. How's the battle looking there? Well, when it comes to the kicker battle, they drafted a guy in the 6th round, Andreas Borregales, coming out of Miami, who was an absolute stud at the U. And John Parker Romo, the veteran from the University of Miami. So you have two with a veteran. The Patriots brought in someone. They also worked out a couple people ahead of training camp, but it's mainly down to these two guys. And when we look at Andreas Borregales, like in 2024, this was his stats at Miami. 18 for 19. 62 of 62 in extra points. He was money. He really showed that he should be drafted. And when it comes to John Parker Romo, 2024, solid 11 for 12, 7 for 8. But when we get into the meat and potatoes, the nitty-gritty of it all, in OTAs, in minicamp, we saw Andreas Borregales go 19 for 20. And that's really, really good for a rookie moving into the NFL. And another thing, just in general, you don't draft a kicker not to start him. If you you're wasting a draft pick on him, especially like a 6th-round pick. Why aren't you starting him? John Parker Romo's a veteran, but you have the potential of getting maybe a future Stephen Gostkowski as your kicker. So I would probably say that Andy Borregales is going to be your starter come in September. Who would you pick, though? Do you want the veteran with John Parker Romo, or do you want the rook type AB for Andy Borregales, or type JPR for John Parker Romo. We got a question in coming from Dashy. Will Drake Maye adapt to the McDaniels offense quickly, or will he struggle a bit? That's really hard to say. I would probably go with a little bit of both, just because I know that from what we saw last year, him coming in as a rookie with the offensive line being terrible, with a bad offensive coordinator in Alex Van Pelt, and just having to be able to improvise and make plays for himself because he was just running all over the field. I think he's going to adapt quick to the McDaniels offense. It's not an easy offense, but it is a lot of just quick passes. And also the ability to throw to the running back, the ability to throw and play action. He knows how to read a defense, so I think that he's going to step in and just pick this offense up really quickly. I also think that even since McDaniels left, a little bit of Josh McDaniels has just kind of stayed with the Patriots throughout the time. Just he was with the Pats for 20-something years. It always been, we're going to do some things. But McDaniels has also said that he's willing to expand his offense, kind of evolve as the NFL evolves. So maybe he can adapt. So McDaniels can also adapt to Drake Maye as Drake Maye adapts to McDaniels, if that makes sense for you guys. Tight end dividend. I think in preseason, Efton Chism pops off and takes Polk's spot or even someone else's. Polk was not at the first day of training camp, so he's already dropping down. He's already taken a step below, and he was not put on the PUP list. He was not put on the NFI list, the non-football injury list. He just didn't practice. And with Efton Chism, he's shown up to everything. We've been seeing videos on Twitter, on Instagram of him working out. And I think Polk has really a very slim chance to make this roster. You're going to bring in about 7 wide receivers, and Efton Chism is going to be that last spot. It's going to come down to him or Jalen Polk. Now, you also could go in and talk about maybe you trade Kendrick Bourne. But Kendrick Bourne seems like he's getting along a lot with Drake Maye, so I don't know. But I think also that Efton Chism is going to make this spot over Polk. We're going to get into a little more questions, but if you want to rep Drake Maye today, you can get your jersey for 20% off. It's only $103.99. Usually they're $130. Chatsports.com/Maye jersey. We'll have that in the comments and description of today's video. Season's right around the corner, and if you want to rep the franchise quarterback, and you can get it in the home jersey, you can get it in the away, or you can get it in the throwback red. And you got to do it quick because soon enough, they're not going to be on sale anymore. So chatsports.com/Maye jersey. We'll have that also in the comments and descriptions of today's video. Ross Clark, who were the linebackers today? We saw a lot of Christian Ellis. Robert Spillane is your Mike backer, but the one sigh of relief that you had was that Jelani Tavai was taken off the PUP list and he is practicing. That is the position battle that you want to look at going into this season, is that who's going to be that second starting linebacker? Because Spillane's your Mike. Is it going to be Christian Ellis, who they brought back? The Raiders tried to sign him, and he was a restricted free agent. They matched that signing, so he came back. Now, Jelani Tavai, he led the Patriots in tackles last year, but he also wasn't that best of a pass defender. His PFF grades were terrible. So it's a really interesting position battle to watch. You're not really going to see much of the linebackers right now, specifically only because they're not in pads. There's still 7-on-7 work. It's still 11-on-11 where they're just in helmets, jerseys, and shorts. So it's not much where you could see, you also have Jack Gibbons that you have to worry about. But those are your 4 guys. Jelani Tavai, Jack Gibbons, Robert Spillane, and Christian Ellis are the 4 you're looking at. And after that, it could be a question mark if these people are going to still be on this roster, cut candidates or trade candidates going into later this season. Michelle, shout out to Michelle. What is your O-line prediction this season, and what do you expect from them? Well, I was expecting a lot, but the first day of training camp, I was a little disappointed. And Morgan Moses, he let up a couple sacks. Will Campbell let up a couple sacks. We really don't know who's going to be left guard. It is interesting because you have a wide open spot at left guard. Cole Strange, we saw Jared Wilson. You could see him right there. He's on the center spot. He was drafted out of Georgia to be a center. He was taking some reps, first team left guard. So that was kind of what I'm looking at. But Morgan Moses kind of struggling in day one, really really had me a little bit concerned. Drake Maye getting sacked 4 times. Now, you can't actually touch the quarterback because you're not in pads, but 4 sacks it's something to keep your eye on, but I expect them to be better than last year. Nothing can get worse. Nothing, and I mean nothing, can get worse than what we saw a year ago. It's Scare Bear. And here, Jared Wilson, we just talked about it. Him getting left guard snaps. I think he has a shot of being a starting center by midseason. I think he has a chance of being the starting center, or obviously, if we see going in, if he's playing left guard, he has a chance to start over Cole Strange. Mike Vrabel said it in the first day of rookie minicamp that he wanted all interior offensive linemen to learn left guard, center, and right guard to be complete sure that they know how to play each position. Now, if Jared Wilson shows out in training camp and you drafted him out of the 3rd round out of Georgia, he could easily take Garrett Bradbury's spot and easily take Cole Strange's spot because we don't even know how healthy Cole Strange is. He hasn't played a full season since his rookie year back in 2022. And if he's hurt, you have to have someone to step in his spot. So it could easily be a guy like Wilson. Deep Eddie. If Diggs isn't healthy, who will fit the spot? Well, let's just pump the brakes right there, brother. Right there. Because Stefan Diggs is healthy. Take it off the PUP list. Full participation. He was in the first day of training camp. He was running with the runs. He was running with the runs. Running with the ones. He was ready. And I think he's healthy. He knows he's healthy. And he was involved with this offense 50 times more than he was during OTAs and minicamp. So let's just say that he's going to be healthy. But if he's not, it's going to be Kyle Williams. It is going to be Kyle Williams or Pop Douglas as your guys because that's who it was last year. And it's basically the same wide receiver core besides Mac Hollins. So it's going to be either Pop or Kyle going into this season. Jasmine. Would a successful season be a winning record even if they don't make the playoffs? Because how many teams made it out of the AFC West? Oh, I like that question a lot, actually. Excuse me. I would say winning record. I mean, you won 4 games last year. You won 4 games the year before. The Patriots haven't been in the playoff contention in 3-4 years. So that is kind of what you're looking at. You kind of want this to just build off of last season. You improved this team tremendously, especially with the defense, and Drake Maye going into his 2nd season. If you can at least compete for the 7th seed, I think that they're going to win 9 games. With the schedule that they have, it's a cakewalk, at least on paper. I say play the games all the time, but on paper, it's a cakewalk. So I'm expecting a 9-win season. If they don't make the playoffs with a 9-win season, I can't really be too mad because, yeah, the AFC West with the Chargers, the Broncos, the Chiefs. I'm not going to say the Raiders. But those are 3 teams that could easily be a playoff spot. You have the AFC North. You got the Pittsburgh Steelers with Rodgers, who that doesn't move me. But then the Bengals and the Ravens, yeah, those are teams that you have to worry about. AFC South, I don't care. And then, yeah, we talked about the AFC North. So just be a winning record. That would be a successful season to me. Very good question, though. Pats fan for life. Could you see the Patriots keeping a fullback on the roster? And we talked a little bit about this during the Cut Candidates video, and there's an undrafted free agent, and his name is Brock Lampe, or Brock Lampe. Yeah, I knew I was, I always second-guess myself a little bit. Brock Lampe, but 7 catches, 14, but he is a great pass blocker, and you can see that size, 6'1", 244 pounds. But when you look at the running back room, I expect them to at least keep 4 guys on this running back depth chart. Yavram Andre, Travion Henderson, Antonio Gibson, Lan Larison. But the one thing that I look at is you brought back Josh McDaniels. And we know that Josh McDaniels loves his fullbacks. When Jay Devlin was on this team, he implemented him a ton. I know Michael Humanau-Inui was listed at tight end, but we saw Humanau-Inui play a lot at fullback. They always implement that position. And this is something interesting to see with the first day of Patriots training camp. This is from Phil Perry, who reports on the Patriots. He was there at training camp. He was on the field for first 11-on-11 snap of camp, and Lampe was your starter. So there is a really good chance that Josh McDaniels re-implements the fullback position to this offense. But you have the fullback undrafted free agent, and then you have the running back undrafted free agent. as Larison. If one of them makes the team, the other person's getting cut. So if Lampe makes the roster, Larison could get cut. If Larison makes the roster, Lampe could get cut. But either way, if one of those two get cut, but I think Lampe has a better chance to make the roster than Larison, just because if you're playing him on the first play of 11 on 11s at fullback, you really want to implement that fullback position. So whatever happens, one of them could make the practice squad. I would guarantee either or whoever gets cut makes it on the practice squad once you have to cut down to 53 on August 26th. What's your confidence level that Brock Lampe makes the roster? Scale it from 1 to 10 for me. 1, you don't think so. 10, he is absolutely going to make this team. He is going to be the starting fullback come week 1 against the Raiders. A great week of questions, and we're going to have it every single Sunday. So tune in to our live shows every single Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you don't want to miss it, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, Patriots Today by Chat Sports. And as always, let's go Pats.